One. I want to thank each and every one of our attendees and our panelists for tuning in to WIMG 1300 AM and Trenton Talks with Trenton Board of Education. Our TV radio broadcast rebroadcasted on WIMG 1300 AM at 7 p.m. tonight and on WPHY Verizon Channel 28 on Thursdays at 11. This is a weekly broadcast of Trenton Board of Education, brought to you by our sponsor, WIMG 1300 and WPHY Verizon Channel 28. I'm your host, Gerald Trueheart. I'm a board member. I chair the Family and Community Engagement Committee as well as the Policy Committee. And tonight we have a special broadcast on our summer programs that are coming to fruition over the summer. And we have some special guests on our panel tonight. Of course, our Assistant Superintendent for School Support, Wilfredo Ortiz, who's doing a tremendous job in coordinating and planning the broadcast for the board and for our listening audience. We also have on the broadcast today, Michael Toff, our Acting Chief Academic Officer. Great work, Mike. We have also Adele Gutierrez, our Director of Specialized Services, Denise Crease, our Parent and Community Liaison, as well as Homeless Liaison and Coordinator. We appreciate Denise, and she'll be fielding our chat and our Q&A. We also have our special panelist guest today for the first time, Samuel Frisbee. He's the CEO of the Capital Area YMCA, a good friend, also a freeholder of Mercer County, Commissioner. That name changed, Commissioner of Mercer County. Appreciate you, Samuel. Greg Grant, 94 feet. Amen. Good to have you, Greg, on the show and broadcast this afternoon. Reggie Coleman, a good friend of our community, good friend of the boards, from the Boys and Girls Club, Chief Executive Officer from the Boys and Girls Club. So we're going to get this program started, and I want to allow right now Wilfredo Ortiz, if you could get us started and kind of give us the lay of the land for our conversation this afternoon. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And I'd like to thank the panelists and all our community parents out there that are listening. This program today is unique and it's special because we're going to bring to you information for summer programs. And the school district is partnering with community agencies, with the city, and other organizations to be able to address some of the major issues that our families are dealing with right now. One, of course, is learning loss. As you know, many of our students are having difficulty academically. They're struggling getting onto the Zoom calls, following along. And so therefore, we're going to be able to provide them some programs. Our special needs students will also have the opportunity to attend ESY. And we will give you information regarding that particular program, how to register, what are the things that you need to do to get on. We're also going to talk about enrichment programs because it's not all about just learning loss, it's also enrichment. Maybe some of the programs will address social emotional learning. As you know, some of our students haven't been out of the house for a while. They're stuck in with 2-3 brothers and sisters online, all of them trying to do everything at once. And that's very difficult for some of our students. So we have some of our community partners who are also addressing issues of summer camps and social emotional learning and some of the enrichment. So I don't want to take too much more time because we have a great list of panelists, and I want them to talk to you about their particular programs and how you can go about participating in our summer programs for 2021. Thank you.
All right, Wilfredo. So the first question goes to Greg Grant. We'll go around with Greg and Reggie. But first, let's do this first. Will you want to allow Wilfredo to allow your the Chief Academic Officer and as well as Abdel to have some comments prior to our guests coming on board?
I do. I just want to make sure that Reggie Coleman gets in there because he has to leave the program. So yes, let's do that quickly, but I would like for Reggie to go on. So in case he has to leave, that he can do so. Okay.
All right. Mike, just a few minutes, Mike, and then to Abdel, and then right to Reggie Coleman.
Thank you. So good afternoon. And so the Trenton Public Schools right now is going to be offering summer programming from K through 12 using, like Ms. Ortiz said, a learning loss and enrichment model. So the learning loss model I will get into more later, but it is an evidence and research backed model to improve instruction and make up a lot of lost time in a short period of time. We have a variety of enrichment activities from robotics to coding to creative writing and poetry, along with music and dance. As well as the early college high school summer bridge and the P-Tech summer bridge. So, we have a health and physical education camp as for middle and high school students, I believe, as well. So we have a large variety, a wide variety of summer programming opportunities for our Trenton Public students currently. Abdel?
Good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate the opportunity to our Trenton family and community members and our parents that are listening. I'm here to answer any and all your questions, to talk about our programs and services that are going to finish out the school year with, as well as what are our plans and our intentions for extended school year. Just a little bit about myself. I was bred and I'm a product of Trenton schools, and I've just been here 2 years, and I just look forward to the continued success of our district and the family that we have here to make it to the next level. So I appreciate the opportunity today.
Thank you, Abdel. Thank you, Michael. Reggie Coleman, great work that you're doing over at the Boys and Girls Club. Can you share with our listening audience some of the programs that the Y is offering, not only over the summer, but now as well?
Sure. Again, thanks for having me. Appreciate being here. The Boys and Girls Club, we're currently operating a full day remote schooling program. We've been doing that since September. We're doing that out of 2 locations, our 1040 Spruce Street location, as well as 212 Center Street. And we've been lucky enough to not have many shutdowns during the pandemic. We hope to take that same momentum into the summer, where we're going to have locations at both Center Street and Spruce Street. We're going to offer 10 big weeks of summer camp, starting June 28th to September 3rd. And we'll offer that to 5 to 11-year-olds for our day camp. And then we have a teen camp for 12 to 15-year-olds. We're very aware of summer learning loss and then also the COVID learning loss. So something that'll be a little different this summer is that we'll be offering 3 hours of our 9.5-hour day will be dedicated to instructional learning, where there'll be Lexia literacy, STEM programming, summer brain game, which is a lot of math activity. And we just secured a partnership through Boys and Girls Clubs in New Jersey with the College of New Jersey, where we would offer tutoring to every one of our kids in camp, small group tutoring, 3 to 5 kids at a time. Well, they'll get that small group tutoring at a minimum of 1 day a week for an hour. So we definitely hope to spend time there. Some of the things that are a little different this year is we plan on doing field trips, a lot of outdoor stuff to get our kids up and moving. Small transitions. Last year, our kids were, pretty much stuck in a room all day. This year, there'll be some transitions throughout the day. There'll be field trips. They'll also swim this year. Those activities they didn't have last year. At the same time, we'll be practicing the same safety protocols that we did last year with curbside drop off and pickup. We got through all 10 weeks of camp last year without any shutdowns or without any positive cases. So we're praying for another summer like that this year.
Thank you so much, Reggie. Can you let parents know how they can access the summer application? Is there a fee associated with it? Are there scholarships available if there's a fee? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Certainly. So the summer camp application can be accessed at our website, which is www.bgc, like Boys and Girls Club, bgcmercer.org, or you can stop by our 1040 Spruce Street location or our 212 Center Street location and pick up an application right at our locations. A membership to the Boys and Girls Club is $25 a year. You need to be a member to take part in any program. As far as our fees, whether it's after school or summer camp, it's all sliding scale. There's scholarships available. No one is ever turned away because their inability to pay.
Wilfredo, you're muted.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, Reggie, how many students can you accommodate?
Between
Nice.
both buildings, we can accommodate over 300 students between each building. And that's with the new, 3 feet distance. Currently, we're doing 6 feet. For summer, we'll move to 3. So we can accommodate over 300 youth. At capacity, it's probably 4, but we don't have 400 kids coming every day. In our camp, you can register for 1 week or 10 weeks. So we might have 400 kids, up to 400 kids that would register for camp, but the average daily attendance is normally about 70 to 80% per day.
In the age range, Reggie?
Age range is 5 to 15.
And the camps include food, or do parents have to pack?
Our camp does include breakfast and lunch. We partner, well, currently we're out to bid, but for the last couple of years, we partnered with Carson Foods, and we offer a hot meal each day. The only day it's a cold lunch is on a field trip. So 4 days a week, it's a hot lunch.
How do students get there? Do they parents just drop them off? Is there some kind of busing? Can you address that piece?
Traditionally, we have offered busing pre-COVID. Currently, it'll be parent drop off and pickup. I think I mentioned our hours are 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. There's a possibility that by midsummer, we may incorporate busing, but to start the summer, there won't be any busing because you have to take, you have to go through the protocols, the health protocols.
Correct.
Take youth temperatures. And the last thing we want to do is a youth who has a temperature with no parent at the bus stop with them to kind of leave them there. We wouldn't want to put a kid through that, any family through that. So at least to start the summer, we won't offer busing this year.
Thank you. Gerald?
Thank you, Reggie. Appreciate your time and all the work that you're doing in our community down the Boys and Girls Club. I was down the Boys and Girls Club. We would go down there and had a basketball league down there, I remember a couple summers ago, and it was a great time. Great gymnasium, great discipline. And all the kids, had a great time, well-behaved. Parents are connecting and interacting with each other and with the kids and with the program. So my experience down the Boys and Girls Club has been very, very positive. And so I thank you for a great job down the Boys and Girls Club and all the work that you are doing in our community throughout outreach to, to our students and to our parents, and offering these programs over the summer. It's so very important that our parents have the programming and the opportunity to have the children who are out of school to get involved and engage in education and in activities that will help them to grow and to develop for the next year to come. So thank you so much, Reggie.
Well, again, thank you for having me, and also Sam and Greg, where we can get the message out to our parents that there is opportunity and support out here. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Grant, Mr. Greg Grant, 94 feet. Can you share with the listening audience on our broadcast today, Trenton Talks, about summer programs and activities with 94 feet?
Yes. Obviously, last summer I didn't do anything. I just didn't know anything too much about COVID. COVID really scared me. especially when dealing with kids. So for the past 15 years, I had camp. Last year was the first time in 15 years that I did not have a summer camp. So I'm excited about getting back going this year and this summer. I'm glad the district decided to allow me to be able to use the facility. My camp is located at Martin Luther King School on Brunswick Avenue. I've been there for the past 12 years. The other 3 years I was at George Kimmel when I first started. So for the past 12 years, I've been at Martin Luther King School. Our camp will start June 28th and August 13th. It's a 7-week camp. I don't have the luxury like Reggie to go longer because I'm in the school, and they try to get the school ready for September, so we can't be in there late August. So my camp is 7 weeks. Before COVID, we have over 100 students. Been serving a lot of parents for a lot of years. Our main thing is that we're academic sports type camp, where we focus on academics during the morning time, reading, writing, science, whatever the kids really struggle with. We try to accommodate the parent with them during that time. And then in the afternoon, we go swimming, they play sports, they get out, they do a lot more. And then sometimes it all depends on the weather. If it's going to be like one of those 90-degree days, we'll flip it and do stuff early so the kids are not out there in the heat. Especially this year when with COVID, where they got to wear the mask, I believe, outside. So we might flip that so they can be outside with their mask on when it's not as hot. And we'll just flip it and do the academic stuff in the evening. Depends on that weather. We boys and girls from pre-K to 8th grade. Our hours are from 8 o'clock to 4:30, Monday through Friday. We looking to take some trips. We don't know how many trips, like Red said, our trips have to be more outdoors than indoors this summer. Kids go swimming every day. I don't know if Sam still runs the pools, but that's always been a good thing. We go down to the Martin Luther King pool right up the street, and it's been very good. Been very happy with the way the lifeguards in the city runs that pool, and our parents and our campers been very excited about going swimming every summer. So looking forward to having a really good positive summer. A lot of parents been just calling. They tired. They want to get their kids out of the house and doing stuff this summer. So I'm glad I'm able to provide, along with Sam and Reg, provide some fun for them this summer.
How can parents access the application to your program? Do you have a website you want to share?
Yes, I have www.grant94feetinc.com, or they can email at gmanmf@aol.com. And my phone number and stuff will be on there as well. So they can call if they need to pick up an application. I'm at Stokes Schools during the day from 8 to 4, so they can come out to Stokes. That's located off of Parkside in West Trenton.
So Greg, it's really good to, how does it feel to be back? I mean, I know this is coming out of COVID over the last year or so, and kids are really looking forward to a summer program. I'm sure the parents are as well. How are you guys preparing for this summer I guess really post-COVID? Most folks have been vaccinated. We still have to follow the precautionary measures, but how are you guys preparing for COVID in terms of the summer program?
Like I said, hopefully, things are, especially in New Jersey, things are seeming like they're really been moving fast with the vaccines, and things are easing up. Hopefully by the time we actually start, there'll be some more changes, and we can ease up on a lot of the restrictions and do stuff. But it's definitely going to be a little different with kids with the masks and the social distancing, and really monitoring, making sure kids are safe, more safe than they, we always put safety first, but this summer is, you really got to really stay true to that safety guidelines and stuff like that. So it's going to be a challenge, good thing. Like most of my 80% of my staff are teachers. So they already dealing with kids and understand the safety protocols that you have to take. The college students work with me, Ryder, and Trenton State. Look how old I am. College in New Jersey.
That's coming from the man with the AOL account.
Yeah, I'm not getting rid of that too. I'm not. There's only like 5 people left with it. I'm one of them.
Love it.
I am as well.
They've been happy. They also help now. So we've been working, we've been talking with the staff, and everybody excited about getting going this summer.
And Greg, when you say these are teachers, most of these are certified teachers from the Trenton Public Schools, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
And I'm gonna get, do I get in trouble if I say that?
No. I just said,
they definitely teachers from the district that helps
Okay.
out, and they've been with me for over 10 years.
Right. Okay. Very good. Thank you.
So that really helps with the academic piece, and because they know the kids, and they know, they know, obviously they know how to teach and work with them. So that helps a lot.
They're not curriculum. Awesome. And this year, if I may just add, we're looking to support some of our homeless students through some of these programs. So that's one of the things that we're looking to provide some support for some of our students who are actually homeless. So they'll be able to participate in some of these summer programs and some of the camps. Trueheart?
Yes, I apologize. I'm actually in my office as well, so I'm servicing a lot of different people as well here in the office. And so I'm so thankful that we were able to broadcast on WIMG and WPHY, Verizon Channel 28. Sam Frisbee, Commissioner Sam Frisbee, and Chief Executive Officer of the YMCA right here in the Capital Region area, Trenton. I know there's great things happening over at the Y. Can you share with us some of the things that are happening over at the Y?
Definitely, and let me say from the beginning, Reggie and Greg run phenomenal programs. I remember we've all been together for about almost 20 years now, working in different capacities here in the city, and they just run really phenomenal programs. And most people would look at it and say, well, aren't you guys in competition? We're not, because even if we were operating to full capacity in each one of our programs, there'd be thousands of children in the city of Trenton that still would not get serviced. So our goal is to make sure that we are open and available and accessible to every family in the district. So we're definitely going to be running a lot of programs very similar to Reggie. We never really shut down. Last year we weren't able to run after school programs, but we opened up in the summer last summer, and we ran a summer camp last summer, and then we pivoted to this school year where we were actually running full day programs for those students that were online. And so we have about 100 students that are operating online in our facilities where our staff are acting as the proctors. And let me say, just like Reggie, we've had one shutdown in the city of, two shutdowns in the city of Trenton. Neither one of them ended up with a case of COVID. They were scares because someone at home had gotten sick or whatever, somebody reported to us, and the state said, well, you have to shut down. The city health department said you have to shut down for a couple of days until we know that it's negative, and then you guys can reopen. We've not had any positive tests, and we've had over 100 children in our facility for the last year, while everybody else has been shut down for COVID. So we know that we've been following the protocols. The protocols now say that if you're outside, you don't have to wear a mask when you're outside playing. And so our students won't have to do that. When they're inside, they will. Just like Reggie was saying, we will also be running camp, but academic success in our camps. And we've actually been doing this for the last 6 years. We've been looking at and considering all of the challenges that our students go through in dealing with summer learning loss and the whole 9 yards. So we've partnered with a company called Bell Excel. And Bell Excel is a curriculum that is evidence-based. We actually use the same assessment that the school district uses. We use the STAR assessment. So all of the students actually do a pre and a post STAR assessment so that we know where they're coming in. We group them where they're coming in because we know we have some 5th graders that are operating on a 6th grade level and some 6th graders that are operating maybe on a 4th grade level. And so the goal is to group them with young people that are at their same academic structure and then move them along so that they are seeing an increase by the end of the summer. So we will be running summer camp. Our camp is actually going to operate from June 28th through August 20th. And then we also have a basketball camp, which will run at Ryder from August 23rd through August 29th, I believe it is. So we'll continue to run that. We run a dance sense camp. So we run one of the largest dance academies in the city. And so we actually will be teaching tap and ballet and hip hop during the summer, 2 weeks throughout the summer, July 19th through July 23rd, and then again, July 26th through July 31st. They'll be taught by certified instructors who teach dance in all of those particular genres. So really excited about that work. On top of that, we'll still be doing martial arts, and I don't know if you guys know, but we've been working with the district since everything shut down by doing the food service, right? We know that the district has been, they were required by the federal government and the state to make sure that they still kept providing food for our students. Well, we've been doing that for years. For the last 8 years, we've been operating through CACFP, running meal programs for after-school programs like Reggie's programs and CYO and some of the others, so that young students can have something to eat when they come to our after-school programs, recognizing that most of our students, they eat lunch around 11:30, 12 o'clock in the afternoon and don't really eat again until the parents come and pick them up from after school, which typically somewhere around 6 o'clock. So we don't want students to go without. So last year we ran 20 sites across the city, summer food service sites across the city. The summer before that, when you guys were running your summer school and you were running out at Martin Luther King School and a couple of other places, we actually were your service providers. We were your food service providers for the district at that point in time. And so we'll continue to run summer food service programs. Last year, from the pandemic, from the time we shut down until this year, we served over 865,000 meals to young people in the city, and we will continue to do that work. So I don't know if you have any questions, because I could go on. You got part preacher, part politician, and and
hey,
part,
Sam,
part
what's up?
executive here.
Sam, the basketball camp. What dates was that?
That's going to be August 23rd through August 27th. I'm sorry, I said 29th through August 27th.
And that's a day camp, right, at Ryder?
It's going to be a day camp at Ryder. That's correct.
All right, thanks.
And Frisbee, so you're going to continue to have the 20 sites over the summer. Will you continue the citywide program in terms of your food services program? Is that still a viable option for parents and students to be a part of that?
It is, and because the federal government has kept in place the grab and go meals, parents still are allowed to just stop by one of the parks that we're in. We operate out of Unity Park. So currently we're operating at Donnelly Homes, Unity Park, and CYO. And today we served about a little over 1,000 meals just today, where parents can stop through. They say, hey, look, I have 4 children. We give them 4 meals, no questions asked, they keep going. And that is allowed to stay in place right through September 1st.
I got an important question for you. Are those meals tasty meals? Is it pretty good? I mean,
they are
pretty tasty.
So just like Reggie talked about, we've been using Carson Foods, and they've been really, really good to us. I not only do this in the city of Trenton, but we do this for Ocean County as well, because they needed someone to provide meals for them. So we've been working with Ocean County YMCA and now Montclair YMCA and a couple of other Ys. But we work with Carson Foods because they are able to deliver very delicious meals, hot meals, cold meals, and they do it all over the place. So they are good meals.
Sam, do you want to share about the farmers market that's going to open in June? I think that's
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. There's so much going on. We just don't shut down. We keep it moving. We actually have Lauren Porter, who is Trenton native, young lady, graduated from Rutgers, who is back. And she is going to be running our farmers market this year. We're in our 6th year of our farmers market on Greenwood Avenue at 427 Greenwood Avenue, where we actually serve fresh fruits and vegetables. We also have a summer meal service program at that particular site, so parents can come and they can pick up fresh fruits and vegetables and feed their children at the same time every Monday from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock during the summer. We're working with the city, and we're going to be hopefully be able to give vaccinations there, because we also have health vehicles there. So Henry J. Austin partners with us there. St. Francis also partners with us there. Capitol Health comes through, they partner with us there. It's critically important that when people come for the market, it's not only about the food, but it's about healthy living, right? And that's really, really critical. The first year that we actually opened the farmers market, we were doing blood pressure screenings and diabetes screenings. And we had 3 people on the very first week, we had to send them directly to the hospital because their numbers were so far off the charts. So for us, this is about how we have a healthier community, and it's critical that we do this. So we're working with the city of Trenton. We are hoping that we're going to also be able to give vaccination shots and do COVID testing on site at the farmers market as well this summer. If you're looking at the numbers across the county right now, Trenton's numbers are down, way down compared to everybody else. We have about 18% of the total population in the city of Trenton that are actually fully vaccinated, and only 38% of our full of people that have had at least one shot. When you compare that to places like Hamilton, Hamilton has 44% who have been totally vaccinated, and almost 65% of their population has had at least one shot. So we have a lot of work to do to catch up so that we can make sure that when we open up, that we open up safely in our city.
Thank you.
I think to add to that, I think speaking with the superintendent, Alfonso Yano, and I believe his numbers in terms of employees in the city of Trenton, Board of Ed was about 70% have been vaccinated. So that we are really doing the work that's required to have our city make it safe, not only for our parents, but for our students. The other thing that's coming out, as you know, Sam, is the vaccination Pfizer for 16-year-olds and above, which is our high school population.
Yep.
And my son just got his shot from Walgreens, his first dose on Sunday. He had a little side effects, so he stayed, little headache, a little this and that, but he's fine now. He's back at track practice doing his thing. So I want to make sure that people know that also that it's safe.
Yes.
So that's great work. That's great work. Both. Go ahead, Sam.
Gerald, I don't want to fit, because my preschool director will kill me if I don't say that. Hey, look, we're also running our preschool camp, because we run a preschool at the Y for 60 children. We will have 30 slots open for preschoolers that can operate at our sites as well. So again, the goal is to make sure that we have accessibility for our young people, and we have our preschool teachers who are online, who are working with our children. So those who lost some of their time in person, because we recognize that preschool is about setting norms and some standards, that they'll get that during the summer.
This is a general question for everyone, and I'll turn it over to Wilfredo and Abdel and Mike for some additional follow-up questions. As we think about the learning loss of many of our students and the necessity for really working with those students over the summer, both at the Boys and Girls Club, at the Y, and 94 Feet, the organizations that are here on the panelists today doing great work. Have you had to ramp up in terms of staffing to provide the necessary academic support? Have you thought about what that's going to look like for students who need that additional help, and you may need more staff? How's that affected you guys? Start with
for me. For me, yes, it definitely changed the process. Dealing with talking to a lot of teachers, while we was doing remote, talking to teachers about the learning, what's been the biggest challenge for them, and what's the drop off when it comes to learning, so we can kind of implement that in the summer. I think this summer, when it comes to learning, it's really not just doing anything, but actually doing what some of the teachers and administrators think that is needed. So not only have I been talking to the teachers, obviously my wife is assistant soup. She's been trying to tell me some of the things that the students really need, or what they're behind in, that we can implement this summer. So we've really been meeting with the college students along with my staff to make sure that we have the proper tools and everything we need to get some of these kids back on track who have fallen off.
Sam?
Yeah, for us, ramping up in terms of staffing has been the biggest challenge for everything, right? Making sure that people aren't afraid to come back to work, the whole 9 yards. In terms of ramping up with what the students need, that's the reason that we chose Bell Excel, right? The STAR assessment not only tells us where they are, but it tells us where every student is individually. So we're able to craft a plan for each one of those students to get back to, or get to where they need to be, and plan that out. So we use certified teachers. We use a lot of certified teachers at our after school program, who are Trenton public school teachers, who actually operate with us, and they stay with us throughout the summer. So they've been with us for years.
And Mike and Abdel, in terms of the work that we're doing over the summer in partnership with the YMCA, Capital Area YMCA, as well as Boys and Girls Club, 94 Feet, I know we use the STAR assessment as well. How do we? What's the partnership with the community partners that are actually out in the community doing the work, and the relationship with the district's work in the schools, and how that partnership works, and what additional work are we doing in the schools to help in that aim?
So, I mean, I would say the work is complementary. To answer your original question, we, in general, we try to staff a minimum of 1 teacher for every 12 students. I believe that number is even smaller for ESY that Abdel runs, but he will, get into that after me. So we have several programs. So, for example, for our learning loss, like Mr. Frisbee mentioned, we, utilize the STAR assessment with the data to customize the instruction for the students. And we have a pre and post assessment to monitor, not just as a district, but every single, individual location, the progress. So that's for both literacy and math. On top of that, we have enrichment activities. So for example, we have coding, where students will be learning to code utilizing code.org. We have a STEAM camp, which is a combination robotics, music, and dance. So with the robotics, music, and dance, the students, you'll have a group of students who'll be building a robot, a group of students who'll be programming a robot, a group of students who will be creating the music for the robot to move to, and a group of students who will be creating a dance to mimic the movements of the robots. We also are having a creative writing and poetry camp. And all of these camps, from the robotics to the creative writing, the poetry, and the math league, are going to have end of program competitions where the different wards will compete against each other. We have, we purchased, trophies and medals. I think purchased about 3-foot trophies for the winners and medals for like the, the runner-ups and the participants. We're going to be having creative writing competitions as well as poetry competitions and math problem solving competitions. So, beyond just the learning loss structure, we wanted to add some fun into it as well. With the early college, high school students, that is going to be 2 of our Trenton Public School teachers combined with college professors from the College of New Jersey and Mercer County Community College. Will be leading students in literacy and literature and book studies over the summer. And then we have our PTech camp. This is for students entering our PTech or staying in our PTech program to be able to, get on the path towards getting the 9 certifications that they can graduate high school with. Abdel?
Before you go to Abdel, Mike, can I just jump in here for a minute?
Sure.
Just to say that, could you tell us where the sites are going to be for the, I think we're 4 different sites, is that correct? Have we identified those sites yet?
Yeah, so so for the elementary sites, it's going to be PJ Hill in the East Ward, Columbus in the North Ward, Mott in the South Ward, and Kilmer in the West Ward. And the middle school students will be using, I believe off the top of my head, Kilmer and Dunn Middle School, and I believe Trenton Central High School will be being used as well.
Thank you. So we've tried to cover the entire city with programs, just like you have programs, community members. We have about 12,000 kids, or over 12,000 kids. There's a lot of opportunity for young people to be in a safe environment. And so we want to make sure that we get this information out to our parents. We also will have, for the high school, regular recovery classes, right, Mike? We'll be offering students who need to take classes so they can graduate on time. So that would also be
Correct.
taking place, because we do have some students who struggled during this coronavirus pandemic. And so now they'll be able to take several classes during the summer if they failed classes, so they can get on target to graduate. The same thing with 11th graders. So some of them have not done very well during this time period. They will be able to go to the summer program and pick up an additional maybe as money as 10 credits, which is 2 courses, so that they can be on target to graduate. So that's also one of the initiatives that'll be coming out through Trenton Central High School and Daylight Twilight. We're also going to provide the 9th graders who are struggling so they can be on target to get into Trenton Central High School, because they have to have so many credits in order to be able to get into the 10th grade. So all of those activities those services will be provided this summer for our families. Abdel?
There was a question in the chat before you move on. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Have all the students in the district already taken the STAR assessment? That would be for Michael Top.
Yeah, so the general answer to that is yes. They take it in the beginning of the school year, middle of the school year, and they will also be taking it for the 3rd time this month.
Can you explain to the audience what the STAR assessment is, just in case someone doesn't know what that is?
Sure. So the STAR assessment is what's known as a universal screener. So students start answering questions. If they get it right, it gives them a more difficult question. If they get that right, it gives them a more difficult question until it determines what grade level they're on, and vice versa. If it gets it wrong, it gives them a simpler question, and then it gets it wrong again, a simpler question, until it determines not just the grade level the student is on, where they rank, percentile rank nationally. Also, and we use this data as well to identify students for honors accelerated and gifted and talented services as well, how they compare to their national peers. And additionally, it will tell exactly the skills that students need to work on. And then we'll also prioritize them, tell you that, certain skills are more important than others. So if you have, 20 skills it says you need to work on to move to advanced levels, it'll tell you, well, which 5 are the most important? Because you can't focus on 20 things at once. But if you focus on, 3 to 5, you can move at a faster pace.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, no, thank you. And my question on that, the reason I asked about it is I'm wondering if those students that come to us that we are going to STAR assess prior to going into programming, if there's a way, if their parents give us authorization, can we share that data, right? Because that helps us understand where they were at the end or the beginning of the school year, to see how much they've gained or lost. And then when they take it that first time for us, okay, where are they? So that way we're kind of measuring them across time.
That sounds good.
And that's the kind of the partnership that we need to make sure. When he asked about what's the partnership between the community agencies and the district, we can certainly look at that. I'm sure Mike will be able to look at that data. And if we have parent permission slips, we're able, permission from parents, we may be able to give you that information, because students, Mike, don't the students they can get that information themselves on parent portal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So, I know for a fact we can release the information to the students, and we can release it to the parents. I would have to investigate further what the legalities are with data sharing agreements stuff.
I think that's gonna be a great partnership. Adele, we got about a minute and a half left in our broadcast.
Great.
You know what?
I'll wrap it up.
So go right ahead.
And what is great about going last, but not least, is when I changed my backdrop from abilities outweigh disabilities. What I want the community to know is that everything that you heard here today is available to all our students, general ed and special education students.
Yes.
Students with IEPs, students that don't have IEPs or have 504s. So right now, you heard everything that's available to all our students. So all our students are eligible to apply to these programs with an IEP, with a 504. So I'm glad that everything was put out there. What I wanted to talk about is in regards to what is like a mandate, or what's eligible through an IEP, which is an individual education plan. So students with special needs, students with disabilities, there's something that's called the extended school year program. And we have about just over 2,600 students, 2,600 students that have IEPs in our district. And about 400 of them are eligible to attend our extended school year program because of their ability to, well, this part of their disability, but in regards to their retention and to retain, it's a little larger than the average student. So through the IEP, through the child study team, through the IEP team, which the parents are part of, in collaboration with the teachers and the school psychologists and the learning consultants, we have a program that's eligible to about 400 students. And we're going to be reaching out to you all shortly, because you all had most of you through your meeting, so you know whether you're eligible or not. The program starts on Monday, July 5th, and runs through Friday, August 13th. It's from 8:30 to 12:30. It's a half-day program where related services such as occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech are all included. And we wanted to make sure that we take advantage of that. Our students are eligible for all the other programs, but there are specific programs for students with disabilities called the extended school year that we're going to be reaching out to you shortly. Want to make sure that you take full advantage of it. It's going to be in person at MLK, Martin Luther King Elementary School. So I want to thank you for all of that. I hope I didn't go too fast, but
Yeah, that's good, Abdel. That's good information. Wilfredo?
I just wanted to make sure they knew where have we identified a school for the program, Abdel?
yeah, so we are currently going to be using Martin Luther King. We have every intentions to be live in person from 8:30 to 12:30.
And very important to know that almost all we're talking about in-person learning, okay? All the Trenton Public School programs, and I think all the community programs are in person. There'll be some opportunity maybe for our seniors who need to take an additional course to get on target to graduate, but this is in-person learning. And I think that's critical for parents to understand that we need to have these kids, first of all, it'll be a safe, healthy, and secure, a well-monitored environment, because it's very important for you to know where your kids are every day, all day, at all times. And this gives you an opportunity to feel safe that your kids are being in a safe zone.
And if I could throw out there,
over to Mr. Chuhart.
Yeah. So
Gerald, if I
go ahead, Abdel. You got about 30 seconds.
Expanding our teams. We're looking for school psychologists, learning disability teacher consultants. Please check out our website, because we're looking to continue to expand and improve our programs. Check our human resource website and make sure that you apply. We're looking to build our Trenton team and just take it to the next level.
Hey, I appreciate all of you guys. Thanks, Abdel and Mike and Wilfredo, Denise, the administrative team, Sam Frisbee over Capital Area Y, MCA, and Reggie Coleman, Boys and Girls Club, Greg Grant, 94 Feet. We just appreciate the broadcast today. We think we had a great conversation today, and we want to welcome and thank our attendees for being a part of our broadcast today, where we share a lot of good information on summer programs that are coming their way to help edify, lift them up, and provide educational support in academics, as well as athletics and extracurricular activities over the summer. In the COVID-19 post-world view, I'm praying for that. So thank you all for being a part of the broadcast. Everyone have a great night. You've been listening to Trenton Talks on WIMG 1300 AM and WPHY Verizon Channel 28. Everyone have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.